And Cecil B. Ora. Okay. All right, tonight is the village board meeting of Village of Depew, March 14th, 2022. We're starting a little bit late. It looks like it's 7:06. If we could stand for the pledge. And Trustee Savage, please.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You can stay standing. I'm filling in here tonight. God of justice and mercy, thank you for the gift of life and the opportunity to serve the people of our village. Help us to act with character and conviction. Help us to listen with understanding and goodwill. Help us to speak with charity and restraint. Give us a spirit of service. Remind us that we are stewards of your authority. Guide us to be the leaders your people need. Help us to see the humanity and dignity of those who disagree with us, and to treat all persons, no matter how weak or poor, with the reverence your creation deserves. And finally, Father, renew us with the strength of your presence and the joy of helping to build a community worthy of the human person. We ask this as sons and daughters, confident in your goodness and love. Amen.
Amen.
Trustee Hammernick with the notification of fire exit.
The emergency exit is located to my left and to the rear of the room. In the event of an alarm or emergency, please move in an orderly fashion to the exit and evacuate the building.
Need a roll call, please.
Trustee Ada?
Here.
Trustee Ziemba?
Here.
I'm sorry. I don't have my reading glasses. Right? Trustee Kasevich?
here.
Deputy Mayor Hammernick?
Here.
And Mayor Peters?
Here.
Now, but
Okay. First item tonight is approve village board meeting minutes from February 28th, 2022.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make a motion that we approve the village board meeting minutes of February 28, 2022.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next up, approve the village planning board minutes, March 3rd, 2022.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Approve the Village Planning Board minutes of March 3rd, 2022. Number 1, David Cox of Pissarro Associates on behalf of Royal Wash Development, LLC, for property located at 4801 Broadway, seeking concept site plan approval and a special use permit to construct a car wash. Approved.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's carried.
Number 2, Coral Silsby of Project Expeditors Consulting Corporation on behalf of J.P. Morgan Chase Bank for property located at 5075 Broadway, seeking site plan approval for tenant, fit out and exterior improvement for ADA compliance. Approved.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that's also carried.
Number 3, Michael Karuba on behalf of Karuba's Chicken Pit for property located at 2197 George Urban Boulevard, seeking concept site plan approval for construction of 2 accessory structures in an outdoor cooking space. Approved.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that's also carried. So tonight's agenda. You'll be able to make any comments or questions on these agenda items only in the early part of tonight's meeting, and then there'll be a section later on for any topic you might have to or want to talk about. So the first item today, Resolution 1, is authorize the mayor to sign an engineering agreement with GHD. GHD has been serving the village now for, I want to say, more than 7 years. They're at 285 Delaware, and they provide our professional engineering service. Next up is agenda item number 2, modify the 2021-2022 budget in revenues, $15,000 in unclassified revenue, and expenditures, $15,000, and it was to repairs to auto. You have anything in that, Terry?
We've used the money that has come in from the auction
Okay.
to offset the amounts that are being spent for the police cars.
Okay. So it was what, one of the Explorers, probably, Chief, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Agenda item number 3, permission code enforcement overtime. Right now, we have our code enforcement office, our building department, has both of our gentlemen somewhat firmly entrenched. Don's been with us since January 20th. Craig has been with us about 2 weeks, I think, right? And Carmi, and then my secretary helps out there as well. However, there's a couple of months that we're trying to catch up from, and there's a number of things that our previous code enforcement officer had already in his tool belt as far as training goes, and this request is for 3 hours a week of overtime for Code Enforcement Officer Belfield to get caught up on some of this training that's required by the state, and it's for 3 hours a week, and it's, I don't see it here, but it's for 90 days. It looks like Melissa left that off. So I would like to,
We'll adjust that.
I'd like to, who's reading that? Audrey?
Yes.
Who's reading this?
Me.
Me.
Audrey, yes. Can you add on the second where it says "be it resolved"? I think it should have at the end of that sentence, necessary task for no more than 90 days. No wonder where that question got at. It's not the way I sent it in. Resolution, item number 4, authorize the administrator to advertise for a public hearing for a tax cap override. It's a yearly exercise that's done before the budget gets presented to the public, just in case we go above the tax cap, which is 2% this year for villages. Item number 5, authorize the administrator to advertise for a public hearing for a market at Dawson Field, a farmer's market, actually. So the Lancaster Baseball Boosters, who's leasing the field from Depew school system and put quite a bit of money into the field over the last couple of years. They want to try and raise some funds, and they're going to be sponsoring a farmer's market 7 Saturdays between June and September. So that's, that'll be a hearing. We felt, in fact, our code department felt that it was important to allow the public an opportunity if they had some questions about the kind of vendors or what, cleanup, parking, or anything like that. So there'll be a public hearing for this, and that's going to be on April 11th. Next item up, number 6, award a bid for sewers. This is for Phase 5 in the amount of $2,398,305,000. National Water Main Cleaning Company. It should be noted that we've received currently $1 million towards this. Was a water improvement grant. And are we still applying for WIA too?
Yep.
Yep. Which typically is 25%, can be a maximum of 25% of the cost. So 25% of $2,004,000, That's $600,000, the maximum, $600,000. That's still out there for that. Agenda item 7, permission for the historian to purchase some materials. I thought she was asking for a little bit more than, but there is money in their account that gets funded by a trust fund every year. This trust fund dumps about $2,485, and it's earmarked for the historical office. And it really has only been touched once in the last 12 years. And Ms. Wolf has expressed some interest in making some improvements upstairs, maybe a new computer, a couple other items. I've asked her to give me a list of 5 things to look at. So this is to allow us to use that fund, not to exceed $15,000 at this point. There's a permission for a chicken barbecue by Depew O's Company Number 1. And then there's permission for Engine 1, Ladder 5, and Rescue 7. Take the apparatus to Fire Academy in Cheektowaga on Wednesday, April 6th for training between 6:30 and 10 p.m. And also to use Northside Fire Station, March 30th from 6 to 10 for a safe driver class. Okay. So if there's any comments or questions on those items, step to the podium, state your name and address, and we'll get you an answer. Paul Sprata. I was waiting.
He never says anything. This is a surprise.
I've got a couple questions. Sure. One is on the Dawson Field markets. Where do you have any idea where they're planning to set up their tables or their?
All of that stuff will be between their outfield fence and the fence on the west side, west end there, west side of the park.
Okay.
Which is the village's property line for the small park that we have there.
Okay. Another thing is, what about parking? Are they going to be allowed to park in that northeast?
They do have an agreement with that building, yes.
Okay. And will there be parking allowed on the streets?
That's a good question for Bruce. Bruce will be here for the public hearing. He's the fellow that's running the show there.
Yeah.
I thought there was some understanding they're going to try and park some of the cars inside that same property,
Okay.
inside that space, because it's big enough.
Yeah. It's just that if they have parking on both sides of the street, it's going to.
Yeah, I don't think, that's not, I don't believe that's going to be the case.
One side I can see, but I can't see both sides.
And I've also cautioned him that one of the grants that we received was to do sidewalk work, stretching from the village's playground up and around past the ball diamond. So they'll be doing that at some point during the summer.
Okay. One other thing is, I think it's number 9 here,
Fire training?
Fire training, you mentioned something about a driving class, safe driving class. Is that going to be at the Northside Fire Hall, or is that going to be open to the public, or is it just for firemen?
Firefighters and chief firefighters and one person.
Classroom only, it's a classroom only thing. It was open up to the firefighters and their families, is who it was opened up to.
Spouse or something.
Okay.
The spouse, I think, anybody besides the firefighter's free, the spouse or daughter or son or whatever is
Would have to pay,
$35.
I think 35, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, okay. That's all I've got, thank you.
Dave, anything from you tonight? Okay. Okay. Very good. Let's start to roll that. Number 1, permission to sign the GHD engineering agreement.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following resolution and move for its adoption. Whereas the Village of Depew is currently utilizing GHD 285 Delaware Avenue, Suite 500, Buffalo, New York, 14202, for engineering services in the Village of Depew. Whereas the Village of Depew would like to continue this professional engineering service with a fee of $140 an hour for the calendar years 2022 through 2023 and 2023 through 2024. Now therefore be resolved that Mayor Kevin Peterson is authorized to sign the professional engineering service proposal.
I second the motion.
Need a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Adolph?
Yes.
Trustee Ziemba?
Yes.
Trustee Gisevich?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hammernick?
Yes.
Mayor Peterson?
Yes.
That's carried.
Agenda item number 2, modify the 2021-2022 budget.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Be it resolved, the Administrator is hereby authorized to modify the 2021-2022 budget in the following manner. Revenues 10.42770 unclassified revenues in the amount of $15,000. Expenditures 10.5.3120.451 repairs to auto in the amount of $15,000.
I second the motion.
Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Adolph?
Yes.
Trustee Ziemba?
Yes.
Trustee Gisevich?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hammernick?
Yes.
Mayor Peterson?
Yes.
That's carried.
Agenda item number 3, permission for code enforcement overtime.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Whereas permission is requested for Code Enforcement Officer Donald Bealfield to be approved for up to 3 hours a week in overtime for him to work on tasks that need to be completed. There is currently training that is required by the state. If additional work outside of normal business hours is required, an extension will be considered. Be it resolved that Code Enforcement Officer Don Bealfield is hereby given permission to work 3 hours a week in overtime for him to work on completing the necessary tasks for no more than 90 days.
I second the motion.
Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Adolph?
Yes.
Trustee Ziemba?
Yes.
Trustee Gisevich?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hammernick?
Yes.
Mayor Peterson?
Yes.
That's carried.
Agenda item number 4, permission to advertise for the tax cap override.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Be it resolved, the village administrator is authorized to advertise for a public hearing. The public hearing will be held on Monday, March 28, 2022, at 7 p.m. in the council chambers. The purpose of this hearing is to consider Local Law 2 of 2022, authorizing a property tax levy in excess of the limit established in General Municipal Law, Section 3-C.
Second the motion.
And a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Adolph?
Yes.
Trustee Ziemba?
Yes.
Trustee Gisevich?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hammernick?
Yes.
Mayor Peterson?
Yes.
That's carried.
Agenda item number 5, permission to advertise for a public hearing for a farmer's market at Dawson Field.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following resolution and move for its adoption. Be it resolved, the village administrator is hereby authorized to advertise for a public hearing for proposed market at Dawson Field every other Saturday this summer from June through September. The public hearing will be held April 11th, 2022 at 7 p.m. in the council chambers of Village Hall, 85 Manitou Street, Depew, New York, 14043.
I second that motion.
And a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Adolph?
Yes.
Trustee Ziemba?
Yes.
Trustee Gisevich?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hammernick?
Yes.
Mayor Peterson?
Yes.
That's carried.
Thank you. Agenda item number 6, award a bid for the sewer project.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustee, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the village engineer, the bid for Phase 5 CAP Walden Transit Sanitary Sewer from the bid opening March 8, 2022, in the bid amount of $2,398,305 to be awarded to National Water Main Cleaning Company, 25 Marshall Street, Canton, Massachusetts, 02021.
I second the motion.
A roll call vote, please.
Trustee Adolph?
Yes.
Trustee Ziemba?
Yes.
Trustee Gisevich?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hammernick?
Yes.
Mayor Peterson?
Yes.
That's carried.
Agenda item number 7, permission for the historian to purchase materials.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Whereas permission is given to the Village of Depew historian to purchase material using restricted fund balance from the general fund not to exceed $15,000. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Village of Depew historian has permission to use these funds to purchase materials.
I second motion.
Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Adolph?
Yes.
Trustee Ziemba?
Yes.
Trustee Gisevich?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hammernick?
Yes.
Mayor Peterson?
Yes.
That's carried.
Agenda item number 8, permission for Depew Hose Company number 1 for a chicken barbecue.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Be it resolved, permission is hereby granted to Depew Hose Company Number 1 to utilize the Northside Fire Station on May 14th, 2022 for their company chicken barbecue from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? As carried. Agenda item number 9, permission for the Depew Fire Department to take apparatus to training in Cheektowaga. And the other part of that was to use a Northside Fire Station for some safe driver training class for the department members and their families.
Honorable Mayor, Board of Trustees, I make the following resolution, move for its adoption. Whereas, permission is hereby granted to Engine 1, Ladder 5, and Rescue 7 to take the apparatus to the Fire Academy in Cheektowaga on Wednesday, April 6th for training from 6:30 p.m. till 10 p.m. And whereas, permission is hereby granted to use the Northside Fire Station on Wednesday, March 30th from 6 p.m. until 10 p.m. for a safe driver class.
I second the motion.
Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Adolph?
Yes.
Trustee Ziemba?
Yes.
Trustee Gisevich?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hammernick?
Yes.
Mayor Peterson?
Yes.
That's carried.
Agenda item number 10, department head reports.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make a motion to approve the department head reports. Building, February 2022. Police, February 2022, as presented.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We received one employment application in our rec department from Allison Codell. There's no unfinished and other business. And before we get to public concerns and comments, we'll go around and everybody will give their report and then you can ask any question you like. We're going to start with our guests tonight, both who weren't with us last time. I'm sure they're ready with all kinds of goodies. So from Assemblymember Monica Wallace's office, Elizabeth Brinkworth.
Good evening, everyone, and I promise I have a good excuse. I was in Albany with the Assembly member last board meeting, so I apologize for that, but we were doing some good work for the people of the 143rd District down in Albany. But good evening, everyone. As always, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to provide an update from our office. First things first, Assemblymember Monica Wallace wishes everyone happy Women's History Month, yay. And also congratulations to Deputy Mayor Hammernick and Trustee Adolph on your recent appointments. I'm looking forward to working with both of you in your new roles and seeing the good that you can do for the Village of Depew. Assemblymember Monica Wallace is in Albany right now working on the Assembly One House budget that got released and is advocating and bringing resources back to the community in her district. Women of Distinction. Assemblymember Wallace is doing a Women of Distinction award across the district. We're looking to nominate women for various categories. Those who have a background in healthcare, business, volunteerism, education, military service, and public service. I do have some forms that I can give to Terry that can be placed in Village Hall. So we will have until March 31st to accept nominations, and then we will pick the awardees, and then we're looking to do like a COVID-friendly outdoor event once the weather's appropriate to honor the women who were selected. On Sunday, March 31st, the Assembly member and I had quite a busy weekend. We were out and about. The Lancaster Historical Society was kind enough to host a bunch of Girl Scout troops from the Cheektowaga and Lancaster area, so it was very exciting seeing them. We had the opportunity to talk with Alyssa Kornacki, who is a senior at Lancaster High School, and she is completing her gold project for the Girl Scouts, which is like 60 hours in a year in order to get her badge, so that's very impressive. And she had this lovely display that we got to see. It was about all the history of the Girl Scouts in the local area, and she also incorporated into her town of Lancaster. So she had this lovely display in honor of Girl Scout Week as well as Women's History Month. And then she had a bunch of troops from the Little Daisies, who like kindergarten, all the way up to cadets. And they were doing various activities, and she had snacks, and it was lovely that we got to see that and meet with her. And we wish her all the best and things to come. And then Saturday, March 12th, Assemblymember Wallace was invited to participate in the Sports Bra Project, which is where various organizations give new sports bras to girls in need that will allow them the ability to be comfortable while playing sports. That was really exciting to be a part of that. Miss New York was there, Sydney Park, and then as well as we worked with United Way of Erie County and Victory Sports Global Outreach. So it was very exciting seeing a lot of nonprofits come together and to be a part of that. And then as always, if anyone needs assistance on the state level, we are more than happy to help, and our office is open. So anyone who needs to like walk in or call us or email us, we'll get back to you as soon as possible, but we look forward to working with everyone in the community. So thank you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
And Bob Brandon, back from vacation?
Yes, I was in Washington, D.C., visiting my daughter, babysitting, dog sitting, and watching hockey tournaments. My little grandson, 11 years old.
Great.
So we had a good time. Again, I want to congratulate Trustee Hammernick on your position as Deputy Mayor, and Trustee Adolph. Congratulations on your appointment. Now you're going to run for office next month, right? For May?
Yep.
Okay. I got a couple items here having to do with the Senator's chairman of the Transportation Committee. He sponsored a bill that's going to reimburse school districts for purchasing electric school buses. He's promoting his, but now he went to several school districts throughout the state, and he had a bus there to demonstrate, what they look like, how they work, and they also gave people a ride in these buses. Now, there's a state law that says by 2030, the state should have lowered the greenhouse gas emissions by 40% of what they were in 1990. So this is one attempt in order to bring down the greenhouse gases by using electric vehicles. Now, a lot of school districts don't have their own school buses, but for school districts that have their own school buses, it's a way to get reimbursed 100% for buying these electric school buses. Another point, Governor Hochul, she even expressed a desire that all buses be electric by 2035. Again, it's just something she's proposing. It's not a law, but she'd like to see all buses by 2035 being electric. This is an unusual one. The governor signed a bill sponsored by Senator Kennedy to allow owners of autocycles to have just a regular driver's license. I don't know if you know what an autocycle is. It looks like a motorcycle. It's got a steering wheel, it's got a seat, it's got gas pedals and brake and accelerator pedal. It's more like a car than it is a motorcycle. So what his bill says that all you need is the Class D license as opposed to a motorcycle license. It's a big thing coming up right now. It's a lot of people are buying these things. You'll see more and more of them around. It's only New York and one other state was the only state that required motorcycle licenses. So now it's going to be just a Class D driver's license. In the past week, Senator Kennedy was at the Ukrainian American Cultural Center in Buffalo, and in support of the Ukrainians in the Russian situation there. In fact, when he spoke, he says he would like that the New York State Pension Fund divest itself of all companies that actually are doing business with Russia. It's just something that he felt, make the Russians suffer a little bit more. But that was just a recommendation that he said. The Senate also met with the Broadway Fillmore Planning Committee to talk about how to use the $10 million that they got with the downtown revitalization funds. These funds are for revitalizing the neighborhood, making it more business-friendly, improve the quality of life for the citizens there, and to have business redevelopment there. So they have $10 million. They have to decide what to do with it. Looks like the Broadway Fillmore area is the next area in the city that they want to revitalize. And we've got the Larkin area that was revitalized mostly by private funds. You had Niagara Street that's in Buffalo that was revitalized. It's beautiful right now. So it looks like the Broadway Fillmore area is the next area that the city would like revitalized. Here's a fun one. The senator is going to march in the St. Patrick's Day parade in New York City on the St. Patrick's Day. And right after that, he's flying to Washington, D.C. to go to the White House to meet the President and the Prime Minister of Ireland, Michael Martin. So I think it's quite an interesting day he's going to have, marching in New York City and then also meeting with the President at the White House. So he's quite thrilled. The President has been very active in promoting cultural and business relations with Ireland. He's been to Ireland many times. He's spoken to the officials there. In fact, one time he even spoke to the Irish Parliament one time. So he's gone over there quite a few times, and he's got quite a few contacts there. And I think, like I mentioned once before, he's trying to bring Aer Lingus to Buffalo, which would be the first international airline in the Buffalo area. So he's working very, very hard with that. Last thing I want to mention is what Liz mentioned, she alluded to also. Today, the Senate and the Assembly submitted their one-house budget. Now, one-house budget is something that the Senate and the legislature would like to see. What are the priorities? What are the legislative priorities? And what are these fiscal costs for them? So they each submitted it. And, the governor did submit her budget in January. So what happens now, used to be 3 men in a room, so we got 2 women and a man now are going to get together and discuss, the White House budget and her budget, and what do they think could pass in the legislature. And once they propose a budget, it'll be presented to the legislature where it's going to be debated and voted on, and it has, by law, the budget has to be passed by April 1st, and it's been passed almost every year by April 1st or a day or two afterwards. So that's what's going on in Albany. Any questions?
Great.
Good, thank you.
All right, thanks. Chief Miller down on my right.
Thank you. Our departments and our officers are doing a great job. They're engaged in the community and are working hard to keep the community safe. Today, I received a grant, the department did, for funding from the Erie County Stop DWI office for the amount of $12,000. This will allow us to have additional patrols on every weekend in 2022. With this funding, we will be able to keep the streets safer throughout the year. So it's great news for the village. For my annual report for February, we received 940 complaints. 840 were non-criminal. 100 were criminal complaints. We had 32 motor vehicle accidents. We arrested 28 males and 18 females, and we issued 330 traffic summonses. With the weather getting nicer, I encourage everyone to drive safe. Car accidents have been on the rise lately, so most accidents are avoidable. They occur for many reasons. The top 5 are distracted driving, speeding, driving while impaired, reckless driving, and weather. So we need everyone to think safety first and drive smarter. Everyone needs to do their part to keep our streets safe. Just a reminder, please remember to lock your cars, take your keys, and remove your valuables. We had another car stolen last night. Someone left the car running to get it warmed, but we quickly recovered it, and 3 juveniles were arrested. That's all I have.
Thank you. Assistant Chief John Gothier from the Fire Department.
I currently have 116 members, 14 junior firefighters on our active roles. We are already up to 16 fire calls for the month of March. We just changed our clocks ahead this week, yesterday, so if you did not change the batteries in your smoke and CO detectors, please do so now. We should be changing those twice a year, so fire service always says do that at the time we change the clocks. If you do have the sealed batteries, just check those, and even check the ones with the regular batteries, and make sure they are operational. If anybody's interested in joining the fire department, visit us at depewfire.org. There'll be a link there to start the application process if you are interested. And another one of our chicken barbecue request went through the meeting tonight here. So if you like chicken and you want to support the fire department, Sunday, April 24th, Engine 4 will be having a chicken barbecue. Saturday, May 14th, Engine 1 will be having their chicken barbecue. Saturday, May 21st, Engine 6 will have theirs. Saturday, June 4th, Etna Hose Company will be having their chicken barbecue. And Saturday, June 18th, Ladder 5 will be having their chicken barbecue. So it's a lot of chicken. If you want to support the fire department, you have a lot of options. So please come out and support us, and we appreciate it.
Thanks, Chief. Down at the table here, we have DPW Superintendent Ken Pick.
Good evening. We're almost finished with our tree removals for the year. We will start grinding stumps and topsoiling and seeding shortly. We are going to start the all-inclusive playground up again since the weather's starting to break, hopefully. We're almost done in a code enforcement with our remodel there, and just needs a coat of paint. And we're looking at starting the fitness court, weather permitting. That's it.
Okay. Kevin Ferguson from our rec department.
They're having an Easter egg hunt sponsored by the Depew Little Pantry, Sunday, April 10th from 1 to 3. The woman is doing a pretty good job. She has 200 tickets sold, so there'll be 200 kids in the park. She has 20 volunteers. She has different lines for the kids. She has it all mapped out. I'm meeting with her on that Friday. My guy's going to put out the tables, so it's pretty structured. It should be, pretty handled pretty well. If anybody has any questions about it, from 1 to 3 on the 10th, you can come on down and take a look at it. I think it's going to be. The woman raised at a fundraiser and raised over $4,000 to give, to buy the gifts to give to the kids that day. So I think that was, pretty memorable for her to do something like that. Also, too, working on lifeguards for the pool. We got 3 more in the last couple of days, so we're on par with that. Just working on the prices for the pool, residents, non-residents passes. We're gonna find out what the other villages are coming up with so that we can be on the same page with everybody. Thank you.
Okay. Across the way, Code Enforcement Officer Don Bellafield and Assistant Code Enforcement Craig Blanchard.
Thank you.
Just let you know, Craig's working out really well. He's acclimating very well, and it's going good. The couple of baskets of paperwork that were left behind from the previous code enforcement officer, we expect to, by the end of this week or the beginning of next week, get about caught up with those, and then start working on things that are left in the lurch to get them caught up also.
Okay. And as we talked about on the planning board, there's some exciting commercial.
Oh, yeah, we got several good commercial projects going, and it's going well. We've also had a rash of small businesses that took out permits for level 1, level 2 alterations, and be opening up small businesses throughout the village here. So that's going very well.
Samuel from legal.
Hi, everyone. Short report tonight. A few FOIL requests trickled in. I reminded all departments, if you're asking for advice on FOIL, heed the advice. There's no need to go above and beyond. We'll disclose what we're required to disclose. That's the rules. We're still waiting for title work on the Sanilac Street lot we're trying to purchase. We've been trying to purchase that the entire time I've been here.
And before that.
And before that, so we'll have a big party if that is purchased. Small animal law is at the next meeting. No one's reached out to me. My card's out there, my email's out there. Happy to talk to any resident who has questions, but I get the feeling I'll hear from our residents with questions on the 28th. Also, happy Pie Day. That's it for me.
All right. So we'll go down the line here. Trustee Kasevich.
All right, I just wanted to say thanks to the PBA for hosting a very nice event on Saturday. They had a meat raffle. It was a lot of fun. So I look forward to seeing everybody there next year. So that is all I have.
Okay. And we'll go to Trustee Zimba.
Andrew, welcome. You heard the phrase, blame the new guy, right? I've been living there for the past years, so I can't hand the candy out right. So welcome to that phrase. Real quick, there's 3 home hazardous waste material events that the village residents will be able to participate in. One is April 30th, that's at EC South. Another one July 8th, that's going to be in the city somewhere. I don't have the location. When I do, I'll relay it. And another one on October 9th in the North Towns, either North Collins or Brant. They don't have the exact place or times for any of those events, except for the ECC South. We know where that is. Another fee starting, I believe it's May 1st, for paint. If you buy a gallon of paint, there's going to be a 45-cent fee on each gallon. And when whatever's left over the paint, you take it back to where it was purchased from, and they're going to try and recycle it. They got a plan in place to recycle that paint. So there's 10 other states in the union that do this, and there's 9 other states in the union that do this. We're going to be the 10th. So that's all I got.
Okay. And Trustee Adolph.
So at this time, I'd just like to formally thank Mayor Peterson for the appointment for the position of trustee, as well as I'd like to thank the fellow trustees here. They've all been pretty welcoming and showing me the ropes, and I look forward to continue to work with everyone here, including the different departments. You can really see we've got a great team here in Depew, and you feel the positive energy and things moving in the right direction, so I just look forward to helping continue that progress. So thank you.
Great. Okay, open it up to the public. Any questions? Dave Burkhardt, come on up.
I thought of something.
Good.
Dave Burkhardt, 5 Autumn Lee.
Was there
5 Autumn Lee?
Autumn Lee? Right. Was there going to be? It seemed to me, I could be wrong, but was there going to be another shelter built in Fireman's Park? You had the big gazebo there, and then the enclosed shelter. I thought we discussed that
Talking about
last.
the pavilion that we're going to build? The old long shed is going to come down,
Okay.
and the bathrooms will come down, and a new building will come up with bathrooms in it.
Now, is that going to be done in the spring, so it's open by the summer, or?
No. Be open by the end of the year.
Oh, by the.
Yeah, and you can't rent the shelter. You can't rent the long shed.
So that's going to be completely off the books then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know the date. I mean, a lot has to depend upon when we go to bid and fitting it into DPW schedule, because they'll be doing the demolition. That's going to be part of our in-house contribution to that.
Can we do it after Memorial Day?
No. Yeah, I don't think so. I told Marie that we just wouldn't try and chance it.
Okay.
So we didn't.
Yeah, people were asking me about
Yeah.
where we're gonna have our family get-togethers. And
Yeah, this year, unfortunately, it's going to take a little time because it's going to sit right where that old one is.
Right.
And then after December of this year is the projected opening, so. And you'll be able to rent it in the wintertime as well, so
Yeah, we might do that.
there you go.
Oh, now there was a fire across the street from me that Lancaster Auto. Was there? We saw the fire trucks and everything. Was there a lot of damage? Do you know over there?
No, it's just the vehicle that was outside the building, and there was just minor damage to a garage door
Oh, that was
of
it.
the building, that was it.
If I may answer real quick, I talked to Lancaster Auto today, and they are going out of business. They are right now having all the exterior debris removed, going to be closing up shop and putting the building up for sale.
That's the one with all the white trucks?
This one with all the boats and
Yeah,
weight
across the street
runners.
from
Yeah,
that.
it's
Yeah.
in kind of rough shape right now, and he told me he's closing up shop today, and he's going to be cleaning everything out, that they've already got the tires being picked up, because I had addressed the property maintenance issues when I spoke with him. And he's just letting me know that he's called all the people that own those boats and vehicles to remove them from the property, so.
Now, how about the guy across the street? It's got. Did he sell that part
That,
of
the building, yeah, I talked to him today also.
Now, who is somebody going to be coming in right away, or?
He didn't really specify. He just said he sold it to someone else, and they'll be taking that over. That he moved all his equipment and stuff to his shop across the street there, and that that's it, pretty much in a nutshell. He's that business is sold.
I want to talk to you after the meeting about
Sure.
something. All right, thank you.
Welcome. All right, so I have a couple questions to use my time. Bob, was this vehicle thing that you're referring to a four-wheel vehicle?
Three-wheel, I'm sorry.
Three-wheel, okay.
Those like the slingshots you see with the two seats and the wheel in the back, the
Right.
wheel in the front?
There's different kinds. Some are like a motorcycle. They have
Yeah.
the regular handbrakes and this is an autocycle.
Yes.
It's got a steering wheel, it's got a regular seat, it's got gas pedals, accelerated.
I drove one of
Somebody
those.
did a place on Transit, just south of Basil.
Oh, yeah, on the left.
Jensen Automotive?
Yes.
Before Jansen. I forgot what it's called. I got my car started from them.
Thanks.
I've been in the shop. They have all sorts of.
See a lot of it in Florida.
I drove one in Florida. They sound like a motorcycle, but feel like a car.
Really? All right, this is for the both of you, so you take your turns. I sat on a conference call with Senator Gallivan the other day, and we touched a little bit on cannabis. And I had two questions. I guess there's progress has been made with the board, right? Is the board completely filled?
Yes.
Okay.
They're also putting regulations to this. They've got some regulations
I hope so, because
that are coming out.
I did not understand when we opted in, obviously. We felt, I think I could speak for the rest of us, we felt that we were going to need to be a part of enforcement, and we might as well take the percentage that would come to the village. So, the first 1 to 200 licenses are going to be to people that have been convicted of marijuana crimes
Or the family.
or the families. So I have a question that if somebody today is thinking that they're going to apply for a license, and let's say they didn't have that, they could be overlooked, even though they might.
These people are getting preference first already. There's going to be more than 200 eventually.
Yeah, so they'll be soon to know how many maybe would be in the village of Depew? Will they tell us?
They will, yeah. I don't know how they're going to determine it, but they're going to determine, where they're going to have it, depending on populations. I'm not sure how they're going to determine where they go.
Because we're just sort of planning now that we've gotten things together. This is what I touched on this afternoon is that I think we need to fast forward a little bit in the next couple of months and start looking at the zoning issues so that we're prepared when they finally, release what the criteria might be and how many there might be. So that's why I was reaching out to you
Sure.
with that.
If I may,
Sure.
there is a meeting that's coming up. It's not OCM that's running it, but it's kind of like when we had that meeting with the cannabis groups. It's New York State growers and processors, and they're heavily invested in this process in terms of like a nonpartisan, kind of like someone who's like outside looking in.
Yeah, they came to one of the meetings we had here.
Yeah, I'll forward the email to everyone on the chain for the board meetings, and you can sign up. I think someone from our office might be attending just to hear what's going on, because we're hearing a lot in terms of the zoning issues that are coming up and in terms of that. So it might be good to have somebody come from the board or coding, for example, and just have them sit in.
Good, thank you, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
So this leads me to the next thing, and I was sort of assured by the senator that once the board gets its feet firmly on the ground with some of these rules and regulations, I want to know that I was very disappointed to hear that our district attorney has chosen not to get involved with a shop that sells stickers, $300, and gives away a bag of marijuana as a bonus with that. There's one in the 14043 zip code, although it's not in the village of Depew. It is one of 4 that I'm aware of that do that process. And I was very disappointed that our lead top prosecutor, if you would, chose to blatantly came out and said that he's not going to enforce that or prosecute that. So
Chief Kawaga didn't make an arrest.
yes, and I do understand that they're moving ahead with that.
I think Stan will probably know better, but there's a question in the law, that there's a loophole currently.
I guess my point 2 was, would they even have qualified to get a license if they hadn't jumped the gun here, and now they figured out a way, I'll sell stickers,
That disqualifies them because OCM, because we had a meeting with the director in terms of the state level, he said that essentially if they are jumping the gun in this manner, it's highly inappropriate. They should be getting cease and desist, and it could be followed up with criminal charges. And because of this illegal activity, which it is illegal, because the regulations have not come out from OCM, it could disqualify them from a license, and in most cases it will, because they're, like you said, they're jumping the gun, they're doing this illegally, they're not following the rules and regulations, because there are no rules and regulations yet.
Right.
And we're so far behind the 8 ball, because given the previous executive administration, all these appointments took up time, which is why we're kind of, unfortunately, in the situation we're in. But
Right.
OCM's aware, we're having conversations, we passed along contacts to local police officers, police chiefs, so if more issues like this arise, there'll be a better response.
Yeah, well, the senator did say that expect the board to put a stop to that, so, good, appreciate it. That's the questions I had. Anything else? Okay. Claims and accounts.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, the claims and accounts have been audited and are ready for payment.
In the general fund, $471,555.71. Community Development Fund, $115.79. The sewer fund, $216. In the capital projects, $14,909.06. Capital building projects, $317.50. And capital project for the fire department roof, $2,065.
I second the motion.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. I did neglect to say, you do have some news on the drive-through down here.
We do. We received all of our necessary insurance papers. We have all of that for the general contractor. The general contractor has a number of subcontractors. He'll be subbing most of the work out. We are waiting for the abatement to be done, which should be coming up here soon. Once the abatement's done, the demo will be done. Once the demo is done, they'll get into it fully.
Okay.
The window is going to be the toughest the toughest thing because the back order is simply going to take a long time.
Okay. And lastly, adjournment.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion to adjourn the meeting this evening with a moment of silence for the victims of the war in Ukraine.
Can I just add the 2 horrendous auto accidents with the young people?
Yes. Also the victims from the Warner Road accident
And Clarence.
and Clarence.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And carried. Thank you, everyone. And it is 8:01.
Good night.